Ever since I was a little kid, I've been that person quietly studying the world around me, trying to understand why people move the way they do and what drives them, and sometimes what doesn't. Human nature has always been endlessly fascinating to me, and street photography has become my way of capturing those fleeting moments. My curiosity about Spencer, this month's guest, started the moment I saw him doing street photography with his baby strapped to his chest. I mean, come on, that's dedication, that's real life, and that's exactly the kind of story Creative Talks was built for. Everyone is in a unique position with different skill sets and focusing on distinct priorities, and that's what makes these conversations so interesting. So I hope you enjoy this episode as much as I enjoyed making it.
Yo, what's up, brother? Good, man.
So, what are you doing today, man?
Walking around taking some street photos. I'm Spencer, this is Lyndon. We've been making street photos for about, a little over 2 years now. Yep, we're just gonna do what we do. It's kind of the tail end of probably us being able to do this, so I'm super stoked to be able to document it with you, man.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, bud. I'm loving this cop right here. I'm gonna start right here.
So how'd you get into photography?
So, I mean, growing up, I was really into like skateboarding and music, and so I was always around cameras my whole life. You know, it was like shooting ourselves doing skate tricks or, making music videos and stuff like that. I got really into music in like 2019, kind of before the pandemic, and I got a GoPro at some point to kind of level up the content I was making for my music, and just started learning stuff like shutter speed and stuff like that, you know, that you don't really know when you're just shooting pictures on a phone or something else like that, point and shoot. So that was kind of the gateway in, was the GoPro, and I didn't really buy that Sony a6400 until, I don't know, probably like two years of having the GoPro. I kind of realized if I want to level up beyond what the GoPro can do, I kind of need to get a camera with interchangeable lenses and all this. So yeah, through pretty much doing all the research on the video side of things is what ended up leading me to Sony. And then since then I've gotten into street photography, and I'm like, why did I ever choose Sony? But here we are, you know.
So what makes you pull the shutter?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think I'm like big on like vibes and just like what feels right. There's definitely times when like I feel like there's an opportunity for a photo and I don't pull the shutter just because like the vibe isn't there. But other than that, I try to shoot more than I don't. I feel like if I kind of start being more selective, that's when I just start like not seeing stuff. And if I keep just kind of shooting, that's when more stuff will kind of pop up. But yeah, I let the kind of street dictate where I go and what I do, and just kind of follow what's feeling right, you know?
So where'd you grow up, and how did that influence you?
My folks got out of the military when I was like 5, and then I grew up mostly in North Carolina. So again, that's kind of where I got into like skateboarding and music. It was just kind of like the suburbs of North Carolina.
What was the picture that made you go, oh snap, like this is something I want to continue doing? Yeah,
there's two that come to mind. Like right when I was kind of like learning how to use this camera, I was seeing other videos of people doing street photography, and I just was taking my camera with me, and I wasn't really thinking, oh, I'm gonna go out and like do street photography. But I remember one day I was walking home in West Philly, and I was just walking down the street. It happened to be the perfect moment where this person's legs were sticking out. They had like inline skates on, and it was just one of those that like it didn't really take much of skill, you know. I think I had auto settings on probably, but it was just kind of right place at the right moment to create this photo that like I really enjoyed and was proud of, you know. I think I was like the first photo I was like, yeah, this is cool that I took this photo, you know. And then but that was kind of when I was still deep into music and everything, and then she came along, and I didn't have as much time for music, and so I kind of got more into bringing the camera along with me everywhere. And there was this one time I'd moved to South Philly at this point, and I was big into like photographing the bikers that were just kind of going along Snyder Avenue. It's a big clothespin. She loves this clothespin. It's a iconic Philadelphia landmark that we pass by every time we go out for a walk. But yeah, there was this one day this guy was trying to pop a wheelie. He ended up crashing, and I kind of caught the moment right before he fell down. And I think that was like the photo where I was like, really got that itch to like capture moments that like are that just you can't just like go out and just capture at any point, you know what I mean? Funny, the more I do this and go on walks, you kind of realize there's certain people that's like they're just around everywhere all the time, you know? And I've kind of become one of those people too, that everybody, like just people that I don't know that'll come up to me and be like, where's the baby today, you know, when she's not with me, so it's cool. I'm a stay-at-home dad to now 2 wonderful daughters.
How long do you stay out when you normally go out with her?
So I do try to stay out a little longer if she's not with me, just because I can, you know. But when she's with me, go birds. Like 45 minutes typically of like shooting time, and then, you know, the travel on the subway ends up being like hour and a half out and back, but not long, because yeah, again, like I don't really pack, you know, diapers or snacks or anything like that. Sometimes we'll grab a snack when we're out here. But yeah, always when I've gone with her, I've always been careful. Her safety is #1 priority, so I'm never gonna put ourselves in a situation that's gonna put us in danger or anything. I think it's only been one time really that somebody's like followed me around, and like we were in a busy area, so a bunch of people came over and like, yo man, leave this guy alone, he's got a kid, you know? So yeah, I think just being in a populated area is like pretty safe as far as what we do.
Vivian Mayer.
Yeah, you know the person. Yeah, so that was super inspiring to me, just to hear like knowing that there's, you know, somebody out there that was like making these incredible photographs and just like not even developing them. I was like, wow, like that's a thing you can do, is just like be out here making doing the process without having to worry about all that extra stuff. Oh, it's mama's work clothes. So my wife works in medicine, so every time we pass by here, she's always like, mama's work clothes. She sees her in scrubs all the time. I think she might think that my wife actually works in there and is like trying to go see her at work, but.
And what's your relationship with like social media and like Instagram? Because it's like, it's almost like a prerequisite, like you gotta be on there, da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a millennial, so like I just grew up on MySpace and Facebook and Instagram, and I don't know, the older I get, the less I love it. But I mean, I don't know, there's something that's nice about having other people see your work, and like I've definitely connected with tons of people, including, you know, yourself online. Cause yeah, like that, I'm pretty introverted, you know. I saw, obviously was around you that one day in Chinatown, but didn't, you know, kind of like connected with you then, but somehow we connected online later. So let me get this guy actually. Hold up. Bro, I love hands and cigarettes. That's a perfect photo. Thank you so much, bro. That's two. That's the theme of the day, is hands and cigs, you know? That dude looks pensive. Yeah, I don't know, it's fun. That's like my new fun thing, is just trying to get these slow shutter shots. It kind of passes the time. And you know, you don't need it to be a very like super busy or interesting day. I've been into like going to less like festivals and stuff, because this is like my 3rd year of doing street photos in Philly. So I feel like, I don't know, I'm like less interested in going to like the festival that I've been to the last 2 years, and more into like going at lunchtime on Tuesday afternoon and yeah, taking photos of people doing construction, or I don't know, just everyday stuff, I guess, has been what I've been into lately. But capturing it in a way that is still fresh and interesting, like whether it's using slow shutter or, you know, other photo techniques.
What's your goal with this? Like, are you gonna make a book, or?
Yeah, I'd love to put together something physical at some point. I mean, I just kind of recently started a website that I've been trying to polish up a little bit, to just kind of have like a place where people can check out my work. But I mean, I think mostly what I've liked about what I've been doing is just the kind of like, I mean, and it has been on social media, and it's not necessarily that I like doing the social media, but it is a way to just kind of connect with people every day. Making pictures for 5 to 10 years and then putting out a book of your favorite photos, which I guess is what most people do, but I don't know, I think it's also cool to just like be able to follow somebody's work every day and like kind of see them get better. which is what I've basically done the past 2 years. I haven't really held on to any photos. I don't have a like folder of photos that I'm like saving for a book or the best photos of the day is like the first ones I post, you know what I mean, on my Instagram story. So yeah, I think I have like a small amount of people now that kind of show up every day and look at my stuff. It almost feels like kind of like a community in itself. And there's a lot of people too that have moved away from Philly and appreciate just kind of getting that taste of Philly every day on their feed. The goal is kind of just continue to enjoy doing what I'm doing because I've been having a blast, you know?
I have like some young watchers of the channel. What's your advice to them? Like somebody starting out?
I mean, like, I think with any type of like creative thing, it's just do it as much as possible, right? You know, people ask me a lot of times, oh, how do you get the kind of like courage to take photos of people? Like I always feel too scared. I'm like, it just gets easier and easier the more you do it. And it's like, again, at this point, it feels less weird, you know, going out and taking photos of people than not. Like, if I don't do it, I feel like, yeah, it's something's not right. You know, I'm like, I didn't go out and take photos of people today. But yeah, I think it just takes time and just dedication. I've just been in a really good spot to be able to put in time almost every day for the last 2 years. No better way to learn than just kind of making photographs every day. So that's, yeah, consistency, I guess, would be my advice. This has been a spot that I've liked. I don't know, I guess with the slow shutter stuff, it's nice if you have a plain background.
So where do you go? This is a funny question, but it's a real one for street photographers. Where do you go to pee?
Yo, no, that goes back into my prep. I have never once stopped to pee on a photo walk.
Really?
I always go before, yeah, I peed twice before I came out here today. Lyndon's still in diapers. That's another reason that this is probably one of our last photo walks together, is that, yeah, she's like kind of learning potty training, and that's gonna be rough. There's gonna be accidents, and so.
You know, when she watches this back, like she's gonna get a kick out of it.
Yeah, man, that's the goal, is kind of just be able to, she'll be able to see the city that she was growing up in, or the version of it. And yeah, see what we were up to these years at home. Oh, they're making a TikTok.
Spencer, where can people find you and your work and your website and all that?
Yeah, so www.ishootphilly.com. It's I like your eye, shoot like Chutes and Ladders. Instagram and TikTok is where I post the most. Instagram stories is probably, yeah, the best place to keep up with my most recent stuff or any like galleries that's going on. We're both in a gallery right now. What's that, up until November 14th? And I'm also, yeah, I got a photo at Unique right now.
What do you think of the street photography community here in Philly?
It's dope, man. I mean, like a lot of what I've learned has just been from walking around and running into people here in Philly. Like, you know, the Public Ledger. A lot of those dudes have, I've just met kind of, you know, from walking around and like gotten a lot of information that, yeah, kind of helped me, especially when I was starting out.
What do you get out of street photography?
I don't know. I think it's like definitely helped me connect with the city in a lot of ways, like and felt like purpose in life, even just because like every time somebody's come up to me and recognized me from my work, or even just left a comment that said, hey, I love seeing my city this way, and like I love the way that you capture where I live, like that's just super rewarding to me. So it's what keeps me going, you know, like there's times when I said, oh, like I don't think I'd ever quit street photography, but I might stop posting. That's what keeps me posting, is like, yeah, there's people that stop me on the street or leave those comments, like, yeah, it gives you that dopamine rush, you know. That's what keeps you going.
All right, man, that's about wraps it up for us. Spencer, it was a pleasure, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Lyndon, take care.
Say bye. Say
See
bye.
you guys in the streets.
Peace, man.